Broncos country. Stand up, I got something to say. Today, let's talk about the running back draft class. Who Denver needs? Who should we pick up? Should we trade up? Should we trade back? Should we stay put? All that and more on today's episode of the Something to Say Denver Broncos podcast. Hey, welcome in, y'all. Welcome in, everybody. It's your boy Mo on a No Jersey Friday. Hey, okay. I had visions of fame. And then I grew older. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Broncos country? Welcome in to the Something to Say podcast, Broncos edition. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson, and thank you all for being here. How's everybody doing today on a Friday night, March 21st? Y'all doing all right? I hope y'all doing all right. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good, man, and I'm excited to be here. Before we get started today, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank everybody who is supporting the channel thus far. Within the last couple days, I want to say since my last video upload, I have doubled in subscribers. That's a tribute to you. That's a tribute to people like Isabel and Luke. Much appreciated, you guys. Thank you for your love and support, man. Shout out to everybody, man. And let's keep sharing this. Let's keep this channel growing, man. Broncos country, we here, baby. And we ain't going nowhere anytime soon, man. I also want to give a big shout out to my boy Mike Farley. He's in charge of my thumbnails now, and he's doing a hell of a job, man. And so shout out to you, Mike. Also a shout out to my boy James Jeff, man. That's my brother. This wouldn't be possible without you, man. So thank you, James. I appreciate you, bro. I got an update for you guys as well. The display case that I told you guys was supposed to be here, it didn't come, and it's because of a weather delay with Amazon. So it'll be here. Just bear with me. The background, I'm working on the background, man. I'm working on it, and just stay tuned, man. Stay with me. Stay growing with me, and it'll get better. I promise you that, man. But on today's episode, I got something to say, man. Y'all know I always got something to say. I got so much to say it'll take all day, as I like to say. And today we're gonna get into these running backs. This draft class, man, is deep. The running back draft class is deep, man. And y'all know that our Denver Broncos need one position. It's running back. That's the only hole we have. That's the only hole we have, you guys. And so let's get right into it, man. Let's I want to talk about, like, I got a list, basically. I have a list, you guys, and I'm not a draft analyst. I'm not a draft expert. I'm a regular person just like you who's got something to say. I know you got something to say, so let me know who you guys want the Broncos to pick in the NFL draft. Which running back are you interested in? Excuse me. Which running backs are you interested in? Where do you think we should pick them? I want you guys' opinions down in the comments, man. My favorite running back in this draft is by far Ashton Jeanty. And if you don't know about this kid, man, let me tell you about him. He's a junior coming out of Boise State, man. Hold on, let me pull this up. This dude's 5'9", 215 pounds. He had 374 carries this season, you guys, for 2,600 yards on the ground. 29 touchdowns with a 7-yard per touch average. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Could y'all picture Ashton Jeanty in the backfield behind Bo Nix? Woo! That gives me chills. I'm not even playing, y'all. Can y'all see him? I got chills just thinking about that. This dude is something else. He's not that big. I mean, he's stocky for his size, obviously, but at 5'9", 215, I'm 5'8", 170. Like, this dude's a monster. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. And obviously, like I said, he's a junior. His first season with Boise State, he had 156 carries. Next season, 220. So his third season as a senior, he I don't want to say doubled. Actually, he more than doubled from his first season in carries. But these yards, man, these yards amounts, the yard amountage. Gosh, I'm fumbling. Um, the amount of yards this dude is averaging per touch, and his overall yards for the season is otherworldly. You guys, like it's crazy. His longest run this season was 77 yards, and when I think about us trying to get him, like I don't know if you guys are aware at all the draft order and who's projected to take who and whatnot. But the first team that comes to mind for me is the Oakland. Oh, not the Oakland, the Faders. They're the Faders regardless. I don't care where they're at. The Las Vegas Raiders at number 6. They're projected to take Ashton Genty. There is nothing more that I would love than for the Denver Broncos to jump the Raiders at the 5th pick with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and pick up Genty. It wouldn't make me mad at all. As a matter of fact, I'd probably shoot up out the roof of my house if that happened. A lot of people don't want us doing that because they don't want us to mortgage the future, because you're looking at probably giving up your 20th pick this year, a first rounder next year, and then some. And a lot of people don't want us doing that. But I see it like this, man. What did we do for Russell Wilson? We went out and traded for this dude. We gave like three players away: Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Draymond Jones, and then, or was it? I don't know if he left in free agency or not, but he could have. But either way, we gave them a couple players and draft picks, for Russell Wilson. And then after that, we went out and got Sean Payton for a first round draft pick. So in my mind, if you feel like Ashton Genty is the game changer that you need, you do whatever it takes to go get this dude, man. Can't y'all picture? If Ashton Genty was in the backfield with Bo Nix, you might as well book us for the Super Bowl. I'm not even playing, man, and I'm biased. Obviously, I'm a Denver Broncos diehard, just like you. But oh, man, we would. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard not to think that we can't be there with the way our roster is constructed as of right now, and with Bo Nix going into his second year. There's a lot of second year stories from quarterbacks who made it to the AFC Championship and higher. A lot of them. Joe Burrow, Ben Roethlisberger. Oops, I know y'all saw that shake. Don't worry about that. I hit my tripod. Baby, I need you to wake up. Is the camera still good? I need you to get up and check that for me, please. Um, but Ashton Genty, man, like I just don't see him falling to us, man. He's probably one of the best prospects since, I would say, Saquon. When he was drafted, I think number 2 overall to the Giants. Man, this dude's a savage, man. Like, and my favorite thing about him is that he's shifty. He's got balance. Um, and his favorite move seems to be that stiff arm. He's hard to bring down. That's a hard man to bring down. And he's really young too. I want to say he's 21 years old. Yeah, he is. So I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think that we should trade up past the Raiders? Because to me, that's the only way we're getting him. If he falls past them, say he falls past them. Let me find the draft order. Here we go. Just bear with me, you guys. Okay, so after the Raiders, the Jets are at 7. They don't need a running back. Carolina, I'm not sure if they really need a running back. I don't know if they still have Chuba Hubbard or not. But you never know. The Panthers need to protect their quarterback is what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? Um, the New Orleans Saints obviously got Camaro over there. The Bears, they don't need a running back. The Niners, I don't know how confident you are in CMC with his health issues. over his career. But I also know that they lost some key pieces on that defense to our Denver Broncos. So they might be trying to bolster that in the first round. The Cowboys is worrisome because you never know what Jerry Jones is going to do. You just don't. And even though they signed Javante Williams, I don't think that's enough for them, and I don't think that they think that's enough for them. So it wouldn't surprise me if he fell to 12, that the Dallas Cowboys would take him. It doesn't doubt. It wouldn't. I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't doubt that at all. Um, Miami. I don't. I don't. Do you guys think Miami needs a running back? I don't know. I don't know. Either way, most people project him to go top 10, which he should. I mean, I give you guys his stats. There's just, to me, there's no way he doesn't get out of the top 10. You know. Now there's I would say there's one or two other rookie running backs in this draft class that are potential first round picks. These running backs are gonna fly off the board. Most of them will be in the second and third round, I believe. But Travion Henderson to me is the second best running back in this class. You guys, he plays for Ohio State, and you just throw on the tape with this guy, and it's similar to Ashton Genty, where you just see that explosion. He had I want to say, a catch and go for 75 yards against Texas this year. And this dude is just, he's got that burst. I want to say his comp is Alvin Kamara as well. So I love Travion Henderson. To me, he's not really the type of, I mean, compared to where he's projected to go second round in most mocks. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see him fall to, or actually move up compared to his projection to late first round. Between 28, 32, something like that. I could see Denver in a scenario like that. Um, say Tyler Warren or who's the other dude? Colston Loveland, the tight ends, and then Genty and Amarion Hampton, which a lot of people think are going in the first round. Say those dudes are all off the board. Do you think Denver stays at 20 and takes the best available player? You know, which would have to be relative to the value of that position and the need for Denver. You know, I think that if we moved back or even moved out of the first round, we would trade up in the second round for Travion Henderson. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I got probably about a list of 10 that I personally think that if Denver gets any one of these, whether it's in the first round, late, obviously, you know what I mean, or trading back in a trade back scenario, because the only ones that I would be comfortable with Denver taking in the first round, whether that's a trade up for Genty, a stay put for Amarian Hampton, or a trade back for Travion Henderson. Those are the three that if we got in the first round, regardless of where we got them, I'm happy, and so should you, because that's going to be transformative for this offense. We already added the Joker tight end. You add a Joker running back to go with a Joker tight end. Boy, we cooking. We are cooking. And if you haven't watched the Bow Train Part 1 yet, go check it out. I gave you guys a brief detail on the records that he broke and the excitement that's coming with it, baby. You know what I'm saying? The Bronx, man, I'm overly excited. Like, I'm a diehard. When I say I'm a diehard, man, y'all don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, so much so that I got to do a podcast about it. I have to. I feel compelled to share my thoughts, share my love for the Broncos with a community who feels the same, you know? And so, with that being said, some of the other names that we have on this list, on my list, you got Cam Scatterbo from Arizona State. He's a senior. He's a beast. Let's see what this kid did in his last year. Bear with me, guys. So he played 2 years at Sacramento State and then 2 years at Arizona State. His last 2 years were at Arizona State. 293 carries last season for 1,700 yards, 5.8 average, and 21 touchdowns. That's a lot of production, you guys. That's a lot of production. And he runs tough. He runs real tough, man. I watched some of his highlight reel, and I like him. There's so many running backs, so I probably watched maybe like 10 running backs. I would say, their highlight reels and whatnot, just to get a grip on the possibilities, because we know that the running back position is Denver's only weakness right now. It's Denver's only major hole. So I expect Denver to draft at least two running backs in this draft, you guys. And I guarantee you that we're going to come out with two running backs in this class that are going to be comparative to the duo you see over in Detroit with Gibbs and Montgomery. That's what I'm looking for in Denver. And there's so many good running backs in this class that you could get two guys that have different dynamic ways of being productive on the field. But nevertheless, as long as it's better than what the hell we had last year, I'm happy. You get Bo Nix a running game to go along with what's gonna be the best defense in the NFL. Come on, man, put it together. Y'all know what's about to happen. Y'all know what's about to happen. I had to clear my throat. Excuse me. Um, so we went through Ashton Genty, Travion Henderson. I haven't really touched on what's his name, Amarion Hampton, but this dude, I want to say at the combine, had a Riz score of either a 9.6 or a 9.7, and that's 14th best all time, which is insane. But for me, like I'm into the combine, but I'm not as much as I am watching the tape. I mean, there's only so much these drills and 40-yard dashes can tell you. You know, to me, it's more about the character of these players and their film. That's where you're gonna find out what you have in a player, whether he's good for your organization and your locker room, and the current running back locker room that you have. You know, um, who do we got right now, you guys? We got obviously Javante Williams is gone, so we still got Jaleel McLaughlin, who's one of the hardest working dudes in the building. He's usually the first one to show up every day, and for his size, man, he's you would think that he's not as durable as he is, but he is. He's pretty durable and he's reliable. Best ability is availability in this league, and I like Jaleel, man. I like Jaleel, but I mean, it's just like we need either a three down back, or a two-man system, a solid two-man system. And I just don't believe that Jaleel McLaughlin or Audric Estime or Tyler Beatty or I mean Blake Watson. He's actually an interesting one. And actually, before Beatty got hurt, or Bidet, I guess that's how you pronounce it, is Bidet. And he told a reporter that. I don't like saying that, but it is what it is. You can understand why. Um, but those are the four running backs that we have. Two of them barely had any snaps last year. Audric Estime, he was promising, coming out of the draft last year. But at the same time, he put the ball on the ground too many times. And as a rookie, you put the ball on the ground with Sean Payton, and you're probably not going to see much playing time. You know, it's that simple with him. You don't put the ball on the ground. Um, I think that the Broncos are in a good place draft wise. We have, I want to say, what, six, seven picks this year. We got a first, a second, a third, a fourth. We don't have a fifth, and then we got three sixth round picks. So if you know that your main needs are running back mainly, tight end, they're gonna draft another tight end. Where do we think that the Broncos could possibly draft a running back? You guys think that the Broncos will draft a running back in round one at 20? Let me know in the comments. Um, do you see them, trading back to gain more draft capital, for more of a push of what you want to get in the middle rounds because there's so much talent still in those middle rounds that you don't really need to, go for the home run hitter in Ashton Genty, mortgage in the future. No, you can just trade back, get some more picks, and and get even more talent. I could see. Honestly, though, Sean Payton is not known for trading back in the draft. He's more known for trading up. So, but in this scenario, man, like with this class, it's really going to depend on what Sean Payton wants. Like, is he falling in love with one of these running backs? And then do they have a plan to go behind that? I don't know what to expect, but I know that um, along with the running backs that I've told you, you can add DJ Giddens from Kansas State in there. You can add RJ Harvey from UFC. You can add Trevor Etienne from Georgia. Jaden Blue from Texas. Brashard Smith. I love Brashard Smith. That dude's going to be special. I promise you guys. And Devin Neal from Kansas. I'm pretty sure Devin Neal tore Colorado up. He was the reason why they didn't make it to the playoffs because they needed to beat Kansas this year, and he tore them up. Um, but there's so many good running backs, you guys. So many good running backs in this class. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think? What do you guys? I really want to know what you guys' opinions are, man. Um, because as long as we get us a running back in the first, like we don't need tight end in the first. So either to me, it's like either you're trading up for Genty, or if Hampton's there at 20, that's good value. I mean, at least as far as where these projections are going, these mocks, um, that's still good value. They're projecting Hampton to go early, earlier than 20. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's still there at 20 that the Broncos take him. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So if we don't stay at 20 though, and we decide to move back, do we move all the way out of the first round? I could see that happening. I could see that happening for sure. But if you move out of the first round, you better get Travion Henderson. I'm If we don't come out of this first round or first 40 picks without one of those three running backs, I mean, I'm not going to be mad. But say we stay at 51 and we pick up, Travion Henderson's sidekick over there at Ohio, who he shared carries with. What's his name? Quinshawn Judkins. Yeah, Judkins. um, he's got some good stats too. He's actually got some really good stats. I want to say his numbers, touchdown wise, were even better than Henderson's. And he played for Ole Miss. He's only a junior. He had 194 carries last season, 1,060 rushing yards, 5.5 average with 14 touchdowns. Oh, are we freezing up over here? Okay, there we go. Um, Sorry, you guys. Just trying to get this to switch over. And by the way, while I'm waiting for this to load up, man, I want to say that kind of like the game of football, this podcast is starting to slow down for me, like it did for Bo Nix in Week 4 last season. And I think I've expressed that I'm trying to get better and better. You know, um, it's not easy to be on the camera like this, and um, have people like watching your every word and diagnosing and nitpicking. You're gonna have haters. You're gonna have people who show support. I take it all in, and I want all the smoke, especially with anybody in the AFC West who don't follow the Broncos. You Chiefs fans, you Raiders. I want all the bring. Come on, y'all come on up in here. Y'all come on up in here because I started this podcast at the right time. I started this podcast at the right time, just when Denver is going to the top. Yeah, and that we are. But Travion, well, let's look at his stats. So 1,016 on 144 carries, 7.1 average though. So he had 10 touchdowns. So he had four less touchdowns than Judkins, right? But had a higher average per carry. And he's just honestly, he's just better. Like, I mean, wouldn't it be cool though to get both of them in the same draft? You know, teammates who played for 2 years together or however long it was, and to see them, both get drafted to the same team and continue that legacy, that they had in Ohio. That would be pretty cool. Um, but there's so many running backs, you guys, like in this class that to me, as long as we come out with one of the names that I personally have watched the highlight films from, man, I'm gonna be happy. And I would imagine that Denver's gonna grab at least two. So you can put it in sharp. I wouldn't say put it in Sharpie because you never know what Sean Payton's gonna do. But you can definitely put it in Sharpie that Denver's taking two running backs. Now where that happens within the draft, I couldn't tell you. What I expect and what I think is gonna happen is I think that Denver will possibly. I don't see them trading up for Genty. I don't see them mortgaging any more future picks. I don't see it happening. Like I said, if it happened, I would be happy. But if it doesn't happen, I won't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised to see us stay at 20. And if Hampton's there, we take him. I wouldn't be surprised if we moved back and took Henderson. But my expectation is that with our first pick, wherever that is, it needs to be a running back. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, the whole NFL knows. All 31 other teams know what the Broncos need. All of Broncos country knows what the Broncos need, and that's a running back, and that's a dynamic running back. It doesn't even need to be a joker, but it needs to be a dynamic running back, somebody that from day one can start, and he's not sharing too many carries because he's that good. And there's a lot of dudes in this draft that can fill that void, you guys. And we gotta have it. We gotta have it because we're going to the top, man. Denver's going to the top, you guys. I'm trying to tell you. AFC Championship sounds real good in Bo Nix's second year. I'm just saying. Um, let's see here. Oops. Maybe on some other news, because it don't always got to be just about the running back. We did sign a punter. I didn't read good things about him. I'm not really happy with the pick either. Maybe he's just coming in to fill the void for now. Maybe hopefully they're gonna bring somebody else in to compete with him. But from what I read about the dude, I'm not very impressed with that pick. That's probably my least favorite pick, or my least favorite free agent signing by Denver so far. Um, I also heard today that Amari Cooper restructured his deal. I don't have the details on that yet, you guys, but I'll get them to you. You know I will. Um, who else? I want to say somebody else restructured as well. So basically, the Broncos freed up a bunch of money, which makes me wonder why. Are they freeing up money to give Cortland Sutton an extension or get Zach Allen's extension done or Nick Benito's? You know, obviously they're freeing up cap space for a reason. You know, and it's going to be interesting. I would say this upcoming week is going to be interesting to see if Denver signs somebody. Now back to the running back. There's one scenario where I could see Denver completely trading out of the first round. And that is if they were to go sign one of the free agents that are still available at the running back position. My favorite choice would be J.K. Dobbins. Yes, he has an injury history, He does, but he's still a beast. Y'all remember this dude over with the Ravens? This dude is a savage. And if you go get a first round draft pick late, like trade back, you got that veteran, who's been proven in the NFL, to tag along with that star-studded first round pick or early round pick who you project is going to be the future of the running back position in Denver. But I personally feel like Denver needs to get somebody signed. Somebody signed because then it gives you even more flexibility in the draft. It gives you even more flexibility. So why not? You're freeing all this money up. Obviously, you got something planned, something in mind of another signing, whether that's a running back, which it should be. I mean, I don't know why we would fill all other positions, and not the running back position. We filled every hole that we had in free agency so far, you guys, and that's the one that's still missing. Like, what are we doing? What do we do? Are they that high on Jaleel McLaughlin and the other three, Audric Estime, Tyler Bade, and Blake Watson? Are they that high on those guys? Like, I mean, should we take that into consideration? Do you think? I mean, I hadn't really thought of it like that, but to me, it's like none of these dudes have, you know, been a needle mover. Watson and Bade barely played last year. I don't know if I even saw Watson on the field except for the preseason. Bade had a couple great carries, before he injured himself, and we didn't see him again for the rest of the season. You know, but the truth of the matter is that Denver needs to get better in the run game. They got to get better on the ground. I don't care how they do it. I don't care if it's through the draft and a free agent signing or just the draft, but they got to get better. And this is Bo Nix's second year. This is a very, very important year for Bo Nix, you guys, and you guys know that. You know what I mean? That second year is either where you see a sophomore slump or the exact opposite, and you see him in an AFC championship or at least winning a playoff game, taking that next step. You know what I mean? Um, and I have no doubts about that, at all. So, um, I don't know how good of a job I did. Like I said, I'm not a draft expert or even a, um, I'm not a draft expert. I'm a regular person who I do a little bit of homework. But this is more about just talking to my Broncos fans, talking to you, Broncos country, man, starting a conversation and building a community. That's what this is about for me, man. Because I'm a diehard Broncos fan, and for those who are diehards as much as me, man, you should be following this channel. You should be sharing. You should be liking, because all these things are free. You don't have to pay nothing to support me, to help me. Um, and it's free to listen too. You know. So I mean, why not? But with that being said, I think I'm gonna wrap this episode up. On tomorrow's episode, you can expect me. So this one I'm gonna have dropped tomorrow, which will be today when you're watching it. It'll be Saturday, but y'all heard me. This is being recorded Friday night, um, for Saturday, and then so for Sunday's episode, just look forward to me getting a little more into the draft. I'm gonna start doing more homework, um, and we'll go with tight ends on Sunday. Because to me that's the second biggest need that Denver has. We got Evan Ingram, but that's on a 2-year contract. That's a stopgap. That's a stopgap player basically. He's coming in for a couple years. I mean, if he does well, who knows what happens? But we can't predict the future. You know, so I expect Denver to still draft a tight end early within the first 3 rounds, maybe first 4 rounds. Depending on how the board falls and how Denver feels about their roster. You know, um, so yeah. I look forward to the next episode with you guys, and thanks for joining me. Like I always say, if you haven't already done so, please like, share, subscribe, post it on your Facebook. I don't have that much social media yet, but I'm working on it, y'all. I'm an old head, man. I'm 37, man. You know, um, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Don't worry. But I mean, these are the ways that you guys can help me while I build, this channel. Um, so thank you, and until next time, go Broncos.